First, the Chief Justice who joined us at such short notice. I wish to recognize Judge Yano, all judicial officers present. I wish to recognize my colleagues who are present and all court users present in court and those following on social media. First and foremost, may I say this is a rare occasion where we witness history. It reminds me about the words of my late father, Mathew Nyabena, when we were grazing cows back home in Keroka. He could tell me stories punctuated by stories of war, by stories of pandemic and diseases. I live today to see a situation where I will tell my children and my grandchildren about the history of a pandemic that is called Corona. The Corona that caused us to lock ourselves in our bedrooms, that made us change the way we practice in this court, made us not to relate. Days back, I could definitely hug Mr. Gikandi because I've not seen him for long. But now I see my senator here, and I see a suspect of Corona. I see viruses. Everybody looks at each other. You see a virus. These are seriously and change the way of life. But as my brother Gikandi has said, we cannot afford to fear. The destiny of man is death. I will quote Philippians 1:21. Paul says, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." I want to ask colleagues and everybody listening today, what is to live to you? What is your life? The clear answer is your life should be about service to humanity. Your life should be about doing what is good, so that when you do what is good, you invest in the heavenly kingdom, so that when you cross over to where your treasure is. And I want to challenge all those who fear. We fear possibly because we have not invested in doing what is good. Living here today, I challenge everybody, go and do what is good. Go and do what is honorable, not only before the eyes of man, but before the eyes of God. If you are a member of the bar and you represent your clans, why did we always come to court and you know you have no witness and you still ask for an adjournment? And you know your client has told you, I'll not be able to get a witness. Are you serious? Why are we delaying cases? Why are we not settling cases which we know he have absolutely no case? If you do so, I can assure you, you will live like Paul, by saying to live is Christ and to die is gain, because I'll have done my work. Please, ladies and gentlemen, even our colleagues in the bench, if you are to write a judgment, and you know some of these cases are very personal to the litigants who file them, and you have not written that judgment, you have adjourned it 2, 3, 4 times, somebody keeps coming. What does the individual think? I think we should change the way we work. We should work as if not working for man, but working for God. This pandemic was a warning shot. And it's a warning shot to all of us, including those who occupy high public offices, that today you are the mighty one with a motorcade riding behind you, with everybody saluting. The next minute, you have been summoned. Summoned not to court, but summoned and recalled to your maker. We ask everybody today, and it reminds me that we must, and indeed, as per the word of the psalmist in Psalms chapter 23, basically, Mombasa Law Court, we walked in the valley of the shadow of death. When we heard that 11, in fact, it started when we heard that somebody Had Kenya Commercial Bank had contracted the virus, we were worried. But when we heard that 11 of us, the people you see every day, the clerks who pull your file, the judicial officers who do your work were affected, I can assure you we all were walking in the valley of the shadow of death. But I like the Bible because David says, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And I salute Honorable Gola, and the society has done a citation for you, which I propose we could not award here, we could do it outside court because we'll interfere with proceedings. I salute Honorable Makori. I salute all judicial officers, including Honorable Sila Munyao, who have done very good work. Let me remind you, as we close the court, you know somebody had to remain in court. You cannot close the court and say everybody has gone away because services are to be rendered. I know the Honorable Judge and the Honorable Magistrate were still coming to court. Honorable Khatib talked about his wife. I don't know the conversions to come from Honorable Eric Ogola and Honorable Makori, what their spouses thought, how crazy they were that they could still go to court and go back to their families. To wind up, Judge, let me also recollect something that happened in my house. You know, we were forced, I'm an elder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We were forced to do sermons from home. And you know, you can preach to your children and your household until you get tired. So a young nephew of mine called Wilson was given the responsibility to preach to us. And his sermon was about patience. And he quoted from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31, which says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." That is not the big deal about that sermon. You know, some of us go to very conservative churches. And if you go to a conservative churches, you have a hymn book. So this young man says, finally, I want to play a song to conclude this. And I listened to him, and he said, I'm going to play the song by R. Kelly. If you are a minister, I don't know, moderator, if somebody came and in your church and said, I want to play a song by R. Kelly, you know, you want to throw him out. I was about to do so, but I said, these are the youth. Let's allow them to play that song. I think there was a screen like this. And I could have wanted to play it to you, but I'll ask you to go home, play by the song by R. Kelly. It says, "The storm is over now." I listened to that song. We know it's secular, but every word written by R. Kelly in "The Storm is Over Now," as he says, he looks to heaven, the storm is over now. Judge, in your final remarks, please make a decision that the storm is over now. And we are remitting everything to God, knowing that he has acquitted us from this fear, and we'll definitely move to a phase where we work, knowing that our time is short, and we must do what we must do in this situation. Finally, Judge, may I also recognize with tremendous humility one gentleman who in this stage of life has worked. And I get worried myself. I don't know if his wife is in Nairobi, you know, it's in Mombasa. Because you know, if you work late and you are working overtime, your wife may warn you. And I'm also warned that during this time of the pandemic, many families are suffering, but suffering silently. So this gentleman is one, Colin Sayodo.